Okay.
My name is Jameer Thurman, linebacker for the Calgary Stampeders.
It's an honor today to have Jameer Thurman, Calgary Stampeders linebacker, on our show today. Jameer, welcome to the 11th Island.
Glad to be on the 11th Island, guys. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Thank you for coming on. So to start it all off, training camp is well underway now. What's it been like being back on the field with your teammates?
It's been great. Body's still getting used to it. It's been a while since we've been running on the field together with pads on and all that, but it's been great to be back out there playing football.
That's good. You talked about coming in and getting the body used to it again. How was the gradual build up from the start of camp to where you are right now?
It's good. After about a week and a half or so, the body starts feeling these things start coming up, and you just gotta get back in that mindset of in that process of always taking care of your body every single day, routine things, getting into a routine of how you do things throughout the season and throughout the week leading up to the game. So basically just taking care of your body, make sure you're going into week one healthy.
Very good. And now that things are starting to take some shape, how would you describe this year's Stampeders defense?
Oh, we're going to be good. We're going to be real good. Guys have been flying around. We've been getting turnovers every day. Granted, this camp, as everybody's still trying to get back into things, but I feel the energy from the guys on the defense, and I think we're going to do very good this year.
And there's a shortened training camp this year. Do you feel like there's sufficient time for the guys to get ready for the season?
Most people will say no, because there's nothing like game action. Losing those preseason games kind of hurt a little bit, because that's where you can see where guys perform. It's a lot of practice all-star players out there, but within the situation and within the pandemic and the COVID restrictions that we have to make the most out of the time that we have, and every team has to do it. So we're all on the same page as far as dealing with what we have to deal with.
Mm-hmm. And after spending time in the XFL, coming back to the CFL, how's it been the adjustment back to Canadian rules?
It's crazy. The team's media asked me the same question, not more so XFL, NFL, but I feel like first day back out here, I just picked up where I left off when I was here in 2018. So It's really not been too much of an adjustment for me. Just got to get back into conditioning shape, because that play clock is a huge difference maker compared to NFL and XFL. So understanding, and the speed of the game in the CFL is a lot faster as well too. So I'm just focused on making sure that I'm going to be conditioned to play a full game.
Now, what are your personal goals for the season?
My personal goals is to lead the league in turnovers, preferably forced fumbles. And also I plan to win Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Nice. And then, so walk us through the moment that you realized that the CFL was going to actually return for this year. What was that like?
It was wavering for a while. It's after last year, 2020, the season canceling, and then them pushing it back. Just hearing from a lot of the guys that dealt with it in 2020, they weren't very optimistic, but I understood that I just had to make sure that wherever situation came up, I had to make sure that I was ready for it. So I was training, like, even when they pushed it back, I was still training like I was reporting the next week. So I always made sure I stayed ready for whenever that call was, whenever we got the go ahead and come up to Canada.
And there was some dark days in that time off. We had Randy going out and saying like the league might fold here. Walk us through, as a player, just hearing those pieces of news.
Well, a lot of people tend to forget that the CFL is one of the oldest football leagues there is. And I understand that they've had their drawbacks of as far as like money issues, financial issues in the past and recently as well with the fold of 2020. But I feel like that if it gets the backing and the support, that CFL is never going anywhere. And I understood the XFL talks that they had and all that. Like I was actually an advocate for that as far as the financial side of it, because that meant more money for the players. It meant more TV deals. That meant more exposure for the players as well. Because, I mean, I've listened to, I don't know if you all listen to I Am Athlete with Chad Johnson and them, but Fred Taylor said that exposure leads to expansion. And I feel like those talks with the XFL, yeah, it got everybody the buzz going around and all that. Probably wasn't nothing for it, but it got people talking about the game again. And now we're here again, about to start the season in, I guess, 2 weeks, 14 days.
Yeah, and speaking of CFL news, there's been a lot of retirements from players that have been marquee guys within the league. Has this come to a shock as a player and the organizations?
Well, I see that to some players, yes, but at the same time, you got to do what's best for you and for the guys that have families that they have to take care of. You got to do what's best for that. So I don't hold anyone at fault for their decisions they made. I mean, I'm surprised, yes. There's a lot of great players out there that I played with and played against across the league that suddenly just retired. But at the same time, you got to understand that with the shortened seasons that they have, the pay cuts that the players have to take, a lot of guys probably couldn't make that sacrifice for their family at the time. So, yes, I was a little surprised, but at the same time, I understood. So I completely understood where they're coming from.
Okay.
Well, not completely, but.
Fair enough. Coming back this year, you're returning to Calgary. Was there any thought to test free agency, or did you always want to come back to Calgary?
It was always, Calgary was always my first choice to come back, you know. My 2 years here, I mean, they helped me get to the NFL, you know. Those 2 years helped me become a better player to perform like that. And I always knew that, I mean, whenever I came back to the CFL, I'm going to talk to Calgary first before anybody else. You know, I talked to other teams and all that just to see what was going on and all that. But, you know, at the end of the day, it was the best choice for me to come back here. And I'm looking forward to winning a Grey Cup this year with my team.
Mm-hmm. And another reason you wanted to come back, I mean, your 2 seasons in Calgary, you were in the Grey Cup twice. Now, what would you say that the organization does that puts the team so often in a spot to succeed?
Well, I just think that we have a culture here that is just excellence all across the board. We expect excellence. We expect people to perform at a high level and do their job. And I think that we have a high functioning machine that always runs. We always work together and we strive together as a team in all different phases of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. It's not just one side that's just dominant. We're dominant in many different phases. And I feel like those 2 years when I was here, that's what we were. And that's what makes the organization great and what makes what people come here. As I mean, you can see it's a lot of successful people that's in the CFL that have played in this organization, a lot of superstars. So, I mean, they can attest to that as well and understand that culture that the Stampeders have is something special.
Is there anything specific that the organization does that maybe some others don't that helps push Calgary over the top?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm the person to ask for that because I've only been in Calgary. I've heard from other guys of how things are ran in other organizations, but until you're like in that organization and culture, you really wouldn't have a grasp on what it is. So I can't really speak on the other teams' culture of their organizations.
Okay. And now in 2018, you won the Grey Cup with Calgary. How special is that for yourself winning it and also bringing it back to a city that loves its team so much?
Oh, it was amazing. It was probably one of the greatest moments of my life because that was the first time that I've won a championship outside of from high school and up. I haven't won a championship of anything. So that was the first time that I was actually able to get a ring on my finger and celebrate at the end of the year in any of the sports I played. So it meant really a lot to me, and especially coming off the year before when we were winning the game and we end up losing, to come back and prove ourselves that we deserve that. It was just a great feeling, and I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world.
That's great. Yeah. And to go back to the XFL to start, I mean, it was brand new. Nobody's on any teams. There was a positional draft as a player. What was that process like?
It was different. I've never heard them really so the process was they had like an offensive draft first. Or something like that. Well, quarterbacks were assigned to teams and all that type of things. I was just like, okay, whatever. They had the offensive draft first, and then they did a defensive draft like the next day, and then like an open draft for whoever they can pick offense, defense, special teams, anything. So it was definitely a different draft process that I've ever seen before, but it was interesting but I think at the end of the day, it all came together. You know, team signed guys off the street and all that stuff. So it was good. I definitely enjoyed my time at XFL for sure.
And when the season ended, you guys were tied for first in the Eastern Conference. Do you feel like you're really starting to pick up steam when it ended up being canceled?
Yeah. I think we were. Defensive wise, we definitely were for sure on the DC Defenders. But as a team, I felt like we were coming a long way, getting to know each other, and I think it was. I mean, I felt like I was having a very good year as well. I was just getting started as well, and then unfortunately, COVID happened. I mean, there's nothing that any of us can do. You know, just got to control what you can control at the end of the day.
Yeah, this show started as an XFL podcast. So we'll never forget the week when it all shut down and we were figuring out what to do next. As a player, can you walk us through that timeline of, okay, we played a game this weekend and now, what happens next?
So we were, the week before, we were getting ready for St. Louis, and we saw the stuff that happened in Utah, all that stuff. We just thought, man, it's playing around, like, that's not okay. Then we played St. Louis that Saturday or Sunday, and we won. Then we're getting ready to play Dallas on Sunday. We're prepping all week, you know, just same routine all day, just practice meetings, all that stuff. Then Thursday hits, and we're literally in the meetings still preparing for Dallas on Sunday or Saturday, whatever day it was going to be. And the coach is just like, hey, team meeting right now. Everybody just come down. And then they told us that so they're still trying to play. At first they told us we're still trying to play. There just won't be any fans in the stands. And I was like, okay, that's understandable. You know, cautions. We don't know how this is going to turn out. And then it was a couple hours later, and they told everybody, they were just like, they're canceling the game. Probably going to cancel the season. At first, they was telling us a few weeks, so we're going to be back. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I was being optimistic at the time. I'm like, you know, I don't think it's really that bad. You know, everybody just wash their hands and all that. It'll be good. But then we were gone. Everybody packed up out of the hotel, left. And then we got the news like XFL is done, season's over. Then they said something about paying the players the rest of the season, whatever that means. But but no, it was interesting. It totally caught all of us off guard for sure. Though.
Sure.
For sure.
And from your time in the league too, did this XFL seem to have a really good foundation that if it wasn't for the fluke and COVID and being shut down, they had the ability to go on for a while? Or were there kind of cracks in the foundation that even if it wasn't for COVID, things could have been exposed?
As far as the foundation part of it, I don't really know. I can only speak on what was happening in DC. It was pretty good. Most of the guys were in a hotel. They covered all that and everything. Pay was decent. But I felt that the feedback I was getting from a whole bunch of people, even NFL type people, personnel and coaches and players, that the XFL was exciting to watch. Everybody was tuning in to see it. Everybody enjoyed the product. They enjoyed watching the games, and it was exciting. So I saw the XFL as being something that would be something long-term for sure. And it also gave a lot of guys opportunities, second chances that probably wouldn't have happened if it didn't happen. So I thought it was something that was very good. And I was hoping that it would still be here. I was hoping they would have a 2022 season as well, but we see that got pushed back as well. So we'll see where it goes, but I was excited for it, and I enjoyed my time for sure.
Yeah, as viewers and fans, it was something unique that you'd never seen before on TV. And just all the rule changes were so dynamic, and they thought of the players, they thought of the fans when designing everything. It was a real shame to see it go. And as you said, I mean, you were having a fantastic season. Pro Football Focus had you as one of the highest ranked players in the league. So as on a personal level, like you're trending up, and then all of a sudden, no fault of your own, it's okay. We got to pack this up. What was that like?
It was rough. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I've been playing the game of football for a long time, and at that moment, it was kind of taken away from me, and I couldn't do anything about that. So it was a deep, like, rough time at first, but I kind of embraced it. Grew a lot in 2020. Man, I completely changed mindset from where I was before, you know, as far as living life and all that. And I'm actually kind of thankful that it actually happened now, because I wouldn't be who I am today without it. And like I said, I definitely enjoyed the Xfl. The one thing I will say though is I didn't like the mics and the helmets the entire play.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So I know that you guys on TV, I think you guys could hear the quarterbacks and the coaches talking throughout. I don't know if you guys heard the defense, but the coach would be trying to make checks during the play. And it's just like, we can't tell you. He'll try to tell us what routes are coming and all that. It's just like, we can't even play football without somebody in our ear. It's like a whole distraction. Like, it was definitely wild, that part, for sure. And that was the one thing I did not like. Like, at least when the play starts, cut the mic off. You know, just let us play. Beforehand, the communication and all that, it was good, you know, but that was one thing. And I was just like, if they could just change that aspect. I did. They also mic'd me up, and I didn't even know I was mic'd up. One game I was mic'd up, and I'm just like, what? I didn't even know that. But no, it was fun though. I enjoyed it, and a lot of people enjoyed it as well. So
from a fan perspective, I'm sitting there watching it. Man, you can hear the coaches, you can hear everything going on. It's like being a player. Meanwhile, the players are like, turn this thing off.
Yeah, no, it's you can't. You got to at the end of the day, coaches always say, let the players play. They can't go out there and play for us. So that's when you need to just let us play. Yeah, perfect example right there. So, I mean, but at the same time, it was something different. Like we all said, it was something different that a lot of people have never seen before, as far as hearing all the calls and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you have the NFL mic'd up games where you hear something from quarterbacks and all that, but this one was really had you engaged, and then the interviews right after you make a play or miss a play was. I would never forget the first time our kicker, Tyler, and he missed the field goal. And as soon as he came off the field, they interviewed. I think they might have interviewed him on the field as he missed the kick. And it was just like, me personally, I don't know how I would have responded if someone did that to me during a game. So that was something that I was just like, yeah, I'm hoping that I never, like, what happened on that busted coverage right there, or why did you miss that tackle? It's just like, it's football. It happens. I don't know what else you want me to say in that regards, but no, it was definitely fun though, for sure.
That's awesome. And then you mentioned before the talk of a CFL, XFL, maybe partnership or merger that didn't come to be. You're probably the most qualified person to be talked to about that. And you seem kind of disappointed that it actually didn't happen. Why is that?
I just feel like, I mean, they could definitely coincide separately, 100%. CFL can do its own thing, XFL can do its own thing. The talks of them, like, possibly having games together, all that stuff, I didn't buy into any of that. I was more looking at the financial side, the TV deals, because that's where all the money is. As you can see, what the NFL just did with their TV contracts. So I don't know if it 10 billion, 100 billion. I forgot, but it's a lot of money.
A lot of zeros.
I feel like that would benefit the CFL a lot, and also the XFL, and it gives a lot of guys chances to continue playing football. That was one of the main aspects that I was, like, excited about between the two. It's just like, oh, CFL, XFL, teams talking about players playing CFL, players playing XFL. Both can run separately in their own entities, but the TV deal, as far as bringing those together and seeing what that would do, I feel like would be huge, and it would grow the CFL game as well. To not only just the United States, but CFL's talking about global. They're having global drafts and all that, bringing it to a global stage, and it's better for everyone.
Do you think that American fans will be able to accept Canadian rules being so different?
I mean, a lot of people that I know, they watch it because I play in the CFL and they enjoy the game. As far as a full-on acceptance, I mean, it's different. The game is different. I don't see why not. It's fun. It's still football at the end of the day. It's just that it's just a little different rules and all that. So I feel like that fans can. I don't, unless you're just stubborn and only want to see things one way, which we have a lot of those people in this world, as you can see. But I feel like that a lot of American fans would enjoy the CFL. Yeah, I mean, you got to think with the high school players and the colleges, all the spread offenses in college football. I mean, the CFL is just that. You know, in the wintertime, you just got to run the ball a lot more. That's the only difference. So I don't see why the CFL game wouldn't be accepted. And it's very fun too. I mean, it's a lot of running for sure though, because the fields are a lot bigger. That's the one aspect that a lot of people tend to forget when they come up here, that the field's a lot wider, a lot longer. So hopefully you're in shape and the game is a lot faster. But at the end of the day, it's football. So I don't see why it wouldn't be accepted at all.
And what are the things that the CFL can learn from the XFL? Mostly media and all that sort of visual stuff that's presented to the fans. Well, I mean,
I feel like that the XFL made the players available to the fans. As far as media, I mean, it's a lot of different things. As far as getting the youth involved as well. I know there are some small football leagues here in Calgary. I know they have a youth football league here, but a lot of the kids aren't really showing up to CFL games like that. And I feel like if you start with the youth and teach the game, bring them to the games, and have them like, oh yeah, this is what it is, then the game will grow in Canada as a country as well. And that means when the game grows, that means more people are paying attention. That means the TV, everybody will be watching more on TV. The TV deals will be a lot bigger, and that's more money for the players again. So it's all about exposure. I mean, it's just exposure to playing different things, to just being around something that you usually not around. And I understand hockey is the sport up here in Canada. I get it. I understand that. But at the same time, you know, if the CFL wants to continue to grow, I feel like it starts with the youth.
Now, do you feel like, I mean, here we're in Ontario and everything's been locked down. We haven't been able to go to a live sporting event in a long time. Now CFL rolls in, and there's a lot of our friends and peers and a lot of young people saying, okay, this is our opportunity to go watch live sports now. A lot of these people have never watched a CFL game or have seen it in passing or watched the Grey Cup once a year. Talk to that opportunity now to get new eyes on the sport.
It's huge. It's huge right now. Everybody's trying to get out of the house. You know, I mean, I know up in Canada it's been a little different, but down in the United States, things have been open for a while now. So, but I'm pretty sure a lot of Canadians are tired of being in the house. They want to be out. And if that involves going to CFL games, I'm all here for it. But also the teams have to promote that in those cities. Get the fans out. Give tickets away for free. I mean, as long as we're getting people out there, eventually people will pay to come see the game if they like it. So I feel like just putting it out there, you know, and having people come to the games will do a lot, not only for the people, but also the country as well. Because, I mean, it's been a dark time for all over the world with COVID and the pandemic. And I feel like this is an opportunity that could be very good for the CFL and the country of Canada as well.
Yeah, just sitting from the sidelines over here across the border as we watch just many sporting events going on in the United States with packed houses. It just looks so much fun. And it's so exciting that the CFL is coming and letting us into the building. So now to finish off, we'd like to end with some fun questions. So first off, what is your favorite stadium to play in?
My favorite stadium to play in? In the CFL, right?
It could be an XFL one too, or an NFL one, wherever you want.
I don't know. I didn't have too many NFL games. Only 4 preseason games. But I mean, Soldier Field was different though, because being from Chicago, it was. I was there as a kid. I went to games there, but actually being on the field in that uniform was feeling like no other. Like honestly, it was. I loved every single bit of it. But as I'm gonna stick more CFL wise. CFL favorite stadium to play in. Actually, I would say Ottawa.
Okay.
Ottawa is really nice. I mean, of course, Calgary. I love it, but Ottawa is something about it. I've played there. I think 3 times, and it's always been packed. I like the turf there too, so it's like, I mean, I've had great games there. So I think Ottawa would be one. A lot of people say Sass, because of all that, but like all those green fans and all. Nah, I'm good on that. Trust me. Like I'm good on that. I mean, we quieted down pretty much too when it was there as well. So I'm not really. So this is a beautiful stadium. Don't get me wrong, but as far as just the atmosphere, super loud. But I actually enjoy playing in Ottawa.
Okay. Do you have a least favorite stadium in the CFL?
Absolutely, Toronto.
Everybody says BMO Field.
It's Toronto. What? We have grass, and then it turns into AstroTurf in the end zone. What's going on?
Yeah.
Can you make? So you telling me you can't find grass for the remaining for the end zones? Like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it doesn't.
I don't get it. Montreal will be up there too, though. But
okay, fair enough.
Montreal will be right, but Toronto's first, because they just figure that out, and we're good. Like, I don't understand how that's in. They're still having that to this day. I really don't get it, honestly.
That's fair.
Now, was there a player that you modeled your game after growing up?
Model my game after. So I was a running back mostly all my life. Barry Sanders is my favorite football player ever. I wore number 20 basically all my life until I came up to Calgary. But it's weird when I say that, because like I've been a defensive player ever since like senior year of high school. So I've been playing defense, but I would say that's a lot of guys. I'll take a lot of different things from different guys as far as just tenacity and being where the ball is. Troy Polamalu for sure on defense. But I've definitely taken inkling to Charles Tillman as far as the peanut punch since college. Absolutely.
Okay. What's your favorite football memory?
2018 Grey Cup.
Yeah,
that was easy. That was easy for sure. That was literally the greatest feeling.
That's awesome.
For sure. Now we're getting ready for games. What's your pregame routine?
My pregame routine. Okay, so are you talking about like the week or like the game day? Like you want game day?
Give us the week and then let's go into game day.
Oh, well, just film. I mean, it's a lot of film throughout the week for sure. You wake up early, watch film, meetings, practice, film, take care of the body, of course. I get in the cold tub every single day. It's not a question. It's not a debate. I'm doing it no matter how my body feels. I can feel good. I'm still getting in there. I feel terrible. I'm getting in there. I might be in there a little longer. But I'm a strong advocate for the cold tub. I've been doing it since college, every single day throughout the week. Besides the day before the game, want to be a little loose going in to game day. So always want to have a huge meal 2 days before. Probably try to do something with the team, the guys, some players on the team, 2 days before. Try to take our minds off of, because we've been studying film all week, just go out to eat, go do something together, just chill, hang out, and non-football. And then Friday, just chilling. Well, I'm just talking about a game on Saturday. So Friday, just relaxing, just making sure, getting any kinks, anything, filling out the body, making sure everything right. Game day, I listen to old school rap and old school R&B before I get to the stadium. That's all I'm playing. Just keep my mind, not mostly old school rap, more old school R&B. You want to stay calm, chill, You know, don't want to be amped up all day. I know guys that are literally, as soon as game day hits, boom, they're ready to go. It's just like, you're going to be tired. You're going to be drained by the time you get to the stadium. Like, but no, I just, you know, just cool and just have my routine of just chilling, stretching, going for a little walk, maybe, you know, just get outside. Then when I get to the stadium, walk around, I walk the 50-yard line 6 times. That's just one of my little things that I do. I've been doing it for a while. I don't even know how it started, honestly. But I just walk that, take a lap around the field, just listen to my music. That's when I turn my game day playlist on too. But that's when, as soon as I get out there and start walking around, I turn that on. And then I just walk around, come out, do my little stretch. And this whole time, like, I'm not like yelling. I'm not I'm not doing all that. Like, it's just getting the mind right. Because when I step out there, take that little smell of salt before kickoff. It is go time.
That's awesome. And our last question there, who's your favorite QB to get an interception or maybe sack, force a fumble off of?
Favorite QB? Mike Riley.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Bo is the best quarterback in the CFL, but Mike Riley, I got all respect for him because I've seen guys just tee off on him, like as far as like running back there, and he still throws the ball, stays in the pocket, and gets back up like nothing happened. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you right now? Like, but no, I respect this game a lot, but when I can make a play off of him, I'm excited because like I consider him as one of the top quarterbacks in the league as well. And being a rookie coming in 17 and playing him 3-4 times in one season, you know, I got a lot of Mike Riley when he was in Edmonton. So, and then in 18 as well. But for sure, I'm looking forward to the challenge every single time I step on the field with him because I know that I got to bring my A game for sure.
That's awesome. Your former teammate Jameer Davis, he said the same thing to us there. He said Mike Riley. Yeah,
man, that's that guy. I don't know what it is. Like, he just, I've seen JG literally run through Mike Riley like full speed ahead. Mike Riley, get up, next play, throw an 80-yard bomb. I'm just like, and then some plays he'll just go take off scrambling and get hit by D lineman and DB is just running full speed. Get up like nothing happened. I'm just like, what is, like, okay, well, we just got to keep it going then. Just got to keep it coming because he's not going to stop.
Now, finally, awesome. Where can the fans find you online? And is there anything else you want to say or promote?
Oh, I mean, my social media is jtherm_20 on Instagram and Twitter. I retweet a lot of things. I don't really say a lot of things on Twitter, but you can find a lot of funny videos and things on Twitter. Instagram, you know, I got my pictures up, you know, my stories are kind of funny sometimes, you know. But no, I don't really have too much to promote like that. You know, I don't have a brand like, you know, JG does. You know, I don't have a brand like that yet, but it's in the works. It's in the works. Don't worry. But
very good.
I do want to give a shout out to my Acceleration crew, Acceleration Sports Performance in Naperville. I was there since the pandemic started all the way until I just left in the end of June for Calgary. I was training there almost every single day, probably. And my trainers there, all the people that was there with me, that trained with me, that helped me get ready for this season and for my past seasons and future seasons. I just want to give a shout out to them and thank them for everything.
Very nice.
That's good to hear. Man, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. Wish you best luck with the upcoming season and the rest of training camp.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys too. Have a good one.